Hello, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, and welcome to your reading. So, Sag. Today we're going to go over your energy as well as your person's energy. We're going to see how the both of you are currently viewing this relationship and how you guys feel about it and what actions you guys plan on taking each other's direction and or moving forward. So, with all that being said, Sag, let's get started. How does Sagittarius currently view this relationship? All right, Sagittarius. So we do have the Two of Cups, we do have the Page of Pentacles, and then we also have the Knight of Swords. I see you opening up to someone that you currently find yourself connecting with. I do see you finally opening up to this person and telling this person, you know, how you feel about them, what you want with them. I think that you finally reached this point within your relationship with this particular person where you can definitely see yourself, you know, being in a full-blown committed relationship with them. So it kind of looks like you guys have been in this like talking stage with one another for quite some time now, and it kind of looks like you're finally ready to open up to this person and tell this person how you feel as well as what it is that you want with them and what you just see yourself having with them. Okay, how does this person currently view this relationship with Sagittarius? So we do have the Moon, we have the Judgment card, and then we also have the Devil. At the bottom of the deck, we do have the Five of Wands. Okay. In regards to how this person is currently viewing this relationship with you, I don't feel like this person is shocked or surprised by all of this. I am definitely getting that strongly that this person is not shocked or surprised by all of this. However, I am definitely getting an energy of them kind of like experiencing mixed emotions about all of this. It's like a part of them, it's like a part of them is happy and a part of them isn't, and here's why. I feel like when it comes down to love, this person has always had bad experiences. So the fact that you're telling this person how you feel about them, what you want with them, and what you could totally see yourself having with them, like, it just causes them to essentially feel like they're putting themselves back in that predicament all over again to like get hurt and disappointed. You know what I mean? You know, I just don't know what the hell this person was expecting, to be honest. I don't know, like, I don't know what this person was expecting to like happen here between the two of you. Like, I don't know if this person was expecting, you know, for things to like not reach a serious point between the two of you or what the case may be. But like I said, they're not shocked or surprised, you know, that you're developing feelings for them and that, you know, you can see yourself being in a relationship with them. Like, they're not shocked or surprised by all of this. They're not shocked or surprised by this, but I just kind of feel like because this person has experienced a lot of bad experiences, you know, in love, it just kind of makes them feel like they could be potentially putting themselves in that predicament to get hurt and disappointed again, which is something that they absolutely refuse to go through ever again, as far as getting heartbroken again is concerned, as far as getting disappointed again is concerned. Okay, wasn't expecting that. Let's jump back over to you and see how you're feeling, and then we'll jump back over to them. How does Sagittarius feel about this relationship? We have the Six of Swords to the Nine of Pentacles, and then, so this person's not even opening up to you either. They're not even opening up to you about what's going on here on their end, especially because it's not even reflecting on your behalf. I feel like when you do open up to this person, express to this person, you know, like how you feel about them, what it is that you want with them, you know, I think that, you know, you're going to find yourself feeling better because you were able to open up to this person, express to this person how you feel about them and what it is that you see yourself having with them. I feel like this is something that you've been wanting to communicate to them for quite some time now, and it kind of looks like you're just finally doing it. And in the end, it is going to have you feeling a lot better and a lot lighter because you were finally able to open up to this person, express to this person, you know, how you feel about them and what it is that you want with them. You know, you feel really good about this person, the direction this relationship is heading in. It's just interesting because this person's not opening up to you at all about what's going on internally within them. It's like a part of them is over the moon when it comes down to like what you're communicating to them. And it's like a part of them is just like, but I'm not really trying to get hurt and disappointed again. So then there's that. You see what I mean? It's like, I feel like they're kind of like keeping all of this to themselves. Yeah, they're keeping all of this to themselves. They're not sharing all of this with you. How does this person currently feel? Because if they were sharing all of this with you, it would have reflected on your behalf, and it's not. Oh, okay. Okay, now I see what's going on with this person. Okay, all right. Okay. This person finds a lot of comfort in having surface level relationships with people. In other words, they find a lot of comfort in having like friends with benefits type of situations with people than having, you know, a full-blown committed relationship with a person. I think that I just think that this person has had many bad experiences being in a full-blown committed relationship with a person than having like a surface level relationship with a person is concerned. They find it just way more safe and secure, you know what I mean, to have surface level relationships with people than they do meaningful and deep connections with people, if that makes absolutely any sense. By the way, you know, I feel like this person, you know, does have a lot of emotions for you, just like you have a lot of emotions for them. You know, the both of you are very, very emotionally invested into one another is basically what I'm getting. However, even though this person does have a lot of emotions for you, they just don't think that it's a good idea to like go there with you. They just don't think that it's a good idea whatsoever. Like I said, full-blown committed relationships for this particular person never makes them feel safe and secure. Having surface, level relationships with people make them feel safe and secure. But as far as like full-blown committed relationships are concerned, absolutely not. That does not make this person feel safe and or secure whatsoever. I feel like with these surface level relationships for them, it's like they don't allow themselves to become attached to that person that they're having like a surface level relationship with. But when this person gets into a full-blown committed relationship with someone, then well, that's a different story. They become very, very attached, and they know that about themselves. They become very, very attached. So I feel like this person, you know, like I said, has just found a lot of comfort in having surface level relationships with people because, you know, surface level relationships for them doesn't cause them to become, you know, attached in any way, shape, or form. So if in the event, for example, things don't work out, you know, between the two of you, it's not going to hit them as hard as it would, you know, if they were in a full-blown committed relationship with you, on top of that being very, very attached to you. You see what I mean? Because I feel like this person has been having surface level relationships, you know, with people because they find a lot of comfort in that and they're not as invested, so it makes them feel safe and secure. But if in the event, right, like that, you know, friends with benefits type of situation doesn't work out and it goes left, it doesn't really hurt them and it doesn't really affect them as much as a romantic relationship with somebody that they're in a full-blown committed relationship would affect them, is basically what I'm getting, if in the event, if it were to ever go south. So again, they're kind of keeping all of this to themselves. They're keeping all of this to themselves. It's like you're communicating to this person how you feel about them and what you want with them, and they're just like, yeah, like I feel the same, you know, but deep down inside they're just like, yeah, but I can't do this because, you know, I just can't, you know, because then I'm gonna get too attached, and you know, and what if it doesn't work out? Then I'm going to be heartbroken and devastated. And I don't want to ever experience that again in my life or go through that ever again in my life. It's like this person just wants to keep things as is between the two of you. It's kind of like a whole, like, why fix it if it isn't broken? You know what I mean? Thing with them. Okay. What actions will this person take towards Sagittarius or moving? Oh yeah, this person's freaking the hell out. We have the Nine of Swords to the Hierophant to the Seven of Pentacles. That's another thing too. Everything that you're communicating to this person, you know, this person might hit you with the, yeah, I feel the exact same way, because they do, but there's something about them not taking you seriously. There's something about them not taking you seriously. So if you tell this person, for example, you know, I really do like you, and I really do want to, like, you know, pursue a relationship with you. Yeah, this person might hit you with the, yeah, I feel the exact same thing. All the while, this person over here is looking at you like you're just BSing them. Like you're just telling them, you know, whatever it is, you think they want to essentially hear. So I don't feel like this person's going to initially take you seriously when you tell them like, yeah, like I really like you and I can see myself being in a full-blown relationship with you and everything. Like they're going to like let that go over their head like a carry-on bag is basically what I'm getting, until they start to notice that you're actually very, very serious. And that's when I see them freaking the hell out. You see what I mean? Like at first I see them hitting you with the, oh yeah, I feel the same, you know, all the while kind of thinking to themselves like, they don't mean it. You know, they're just telling me whatever it is that, you know, they think I want to hear. They don't mean it. But once this person starts to realize like, oh shit, like you're really serious. Like you're really, really serious. You know, that's when we see this person starting to kind of freak out a little bit. Okay. What actions will Sagittarius take towards this person or moving forward? We have the 8. Wait 1 second. Okay, so we have this, come on. We have the 6 of Cups. We do have the 8 of Swords to the 7 of Wands out here. The bottom of the deck, we do have, shit, yeah, you're serious. We have the Hierophant, we have the King of Pentacles to the 7 of Pentacles. Before I open my mouth and say anything, tell me more about the 7 of Wands to the 8 of Swords. There's going to be a family member or a friend of yours that's going to tell you that you're moving a little bit too quickly here with this one over here, okay? I am definitely getting that strongly. You're not going to feel like you're moving fast, but someone in your life, family member or friend, is going to tell you like, yo, Sag, like if I were you, like I would like kind of like slow things down a little bit. I mean, y'all just met one another and you're already trying to jump into a relationship with them. Like, I think you should take it slowly, Sag. I think you should take it slowly with them. I don't see you wanting to take things slowly with this person. Again, this person might be perceiving you as somebody who is moving at the speed of light within your relationship with this person. It just doesn't feel like you are to you anyways, especially with the 6 of Cups coming out here. That's kind of telling me that this relationship between you and this person over here makes you feel like you've known them your whole entire life, even though technically speaking you haven't. So even if you guys have been dating for one another for like 2 weeks, you know, it feels like you've been dealing with them for 2 years. You see what I mean? Like that's what the relationship between you and this person makes you feel like. It's basically what I'm getting. So, you know, like I get why this person is like telling you like, yo, like Sag, you're kind of rushing things with this person. Don't you think you want to take things a little slowly here with this person? I mean, you just met them, you know, like, and then you're already talking about jumping into a relationship with them, you know, like, shouldn't you kind of slow things down a little bit with this person? Don't you think? You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to. You don't want to slow things down with this person whatsoever. You know, you don't feel like you're moving fast. And I get why you don't feel like you are. Does it look like you are? Like, I guess on the surface, I mean, sure, you know, it does look like this is a very fast growing connection. But do you feel like you're moving fast? No, I don't think that you feel like you're moving fast whatsoever. I think that you're doing what you feel as though is right. And I also feel like, you know, this connection between you and this person makes you feel like you've known them your whole entire life, even though technically speaking you haven't. I just kind of feel like somebody's coming in and planting that seed of doubt within you, kind of telling you like, yo, like Sag, like, you know, like y'all just met and y'all are already like in a relationship. Like, don't you think that's a little fast? Like, don't you think that you should just kind of slow it down and get to know this person a little bit more? Because you never know, you know. You might discover things about them that you may not like. You know, you might want to like take it slowly with this person. You might want to take it slowly with them. Here's one thing that I will say, Sag, and this is just something that you're going to have to take with you, and just be mindful moving forward with this particular person. I think that there's a lot of potential between the two of you. I mean, with the Hierophant to the 7 of Pentacles, and then we have the Hierophant to the 7 of Pentacles to the left of me in your energy, that's a really good sign. So that's kind of telling me that you know, you guys both want the exact same things with one another. But just moving forward, just be mindful that you're connecting with somebody who's never felt safe and secure being in a relationship with absolutely anyone before. That's what you're aiming for here, is a relationship with this person, a full-blown committed relationship at that. So you got to understand that for them, they've never found full-blown committed relationships with anybody as something that has ever brought them that sense of safety and security before. You know what I mean? So just little bit of a heads up fair warning here that this is what you are up against, you know. And even if they're not communicating that to you, you're going to eventually find yourself dealing with all of this. At some point, you're going to find yourself dealing with all of this. Dealing with all this meaning there's going to come a point in time where, you know, things are going to start to get more serious here between the two of you, and they're going to freak out, and they're going to find themselves second guessing themselves on whether or not they're actually ready for a relationship or not. They're going to find themselves overthinking things. They're going to find themselves questioning, like, damn, like, what did I just sign myself up for, you know? And it's not stemming from a place of them not wanting to be with you. It is stemming from a place of them just going based off of their history with everybody else that they've ever dealt with before. Relationships for them don't make them feel safe and secure whatsoever. So you gotta understand, for them, they're over here freaking out because they feel like they just signed themselves up to be with someone who may not make them feel safe and secure, you know, who may, you know, cause them to overthink things, who may cause them to stress the hell out, who may cause them to have anxiety and experience a boatload of fear, because I just feel like they have like this very negative association when it comes down to being in a full-blown committed relationship with someone. You know, for them, it's like relationships make them stress out. It makes them worry. It makes them overthink things. It makes them think, you know, the worst all the time. It keeps them in a very negative, like headspace a lot. All of these things that they tend to experience within romantic relationships are things that this person feels like they're going to go through with you. And it's already happening as far as them like freaking out is concerned. And in their head, they think it's just going to get worse from this point on. Am I worried and concerned about this relationship? No, I'm not worried and concerned about this relationship at all. And here's why. If you did not have everything that this person truly wanted and desired within a relationship, within a person, they would have been ended this relationship and just moved forward and moved on with their life. But because you just so happen to have everything that they truly want and desire within a person, that is what's going to cause this person to face this head on. Even though it's going to be challenging for them, even though it's going to be scary for them, because you possess everything that they want within a person and then some, this is what's going to influence this person to see this entire situation through. If you lacked what it is that this person truly wanted and desired within a person, they would have just gotten rid of you in a heartbeat and they wouldn't have thought about it twice. You know what I mean? So even though they have this very negative association when it comes down to being in a romantic relationship with someone, they're not going to allow that to cause them to run in the opposite direction of you, if that makes absolutely any sense. Because you got to understand, from their perspective, they don't think that they don't think that an opportunity like this is going to pass them by again. You see what I mean? And this is why they're just like, you know, like, I'm fucking scared. I don't know what the hell to anticipate or expect, but I'm going to see this shit through. You know what I mean? And it's mainly because you basically possess everything that they're looking for within a person and then some, and they don't think an opportunity like this is going to pass them by ever again. So then there's that. Sag, here's one thing that I will say. They're going to get uncomfortable no matter how you want to slice and dice this. You could freaking move as slow as a fucking snail if you want to. They're still going to be uncomfortable no matter what. They're still going to be uncomfortable no matter what. When it comes down to this particular person, you know, I do think that letting them be in control of this entire situation between the two of you is going to help. Like, say, like, for example, you know, let's just say that things get very, very serious between the two of you and you're over here like, you know, I think we should get a place together. Well, instead of you being the one to get this person on board with you as far as getting a place, you know, together is concerned, you need to let them basically take the lead. You know what I mean? Let them basically take the lead. I feel like there's gonna be times where you're gonna have to push them. There's going to be times where you're gonna have to push them. So let's just say that you get the desire for the two of you to get like a place together or whatever. And you just bring it to their attention. Like, you know, it would be nice, you know what I mean, if we had like a place together. Just bring it to their attention. Like, it would be nice if we had like a place together. You know what I mean? I would love to like have a place with you, but, you know, make it your mission to make them feel like they're in control. You know what I mean? By telling them something along the lines of, you know, but I guess, you know, we'll cross that bridge when you're ready, you know, for us to get a place together. We'll cross that bridge when you're ready. To just plant that in their brain that that's what you want with them and you're basically waiting on them. You know what I mean? to want to take that next step with you, because you want to make them feel like they're in control. Because if you make this person feel like you're pressuring them, or they're out of, that they don't have control over this entire situation, they're going to freak the hell out, and this journey is going to be very hard for them. There's going to be times where you're going to have to push this person. If it goes like a whole good 2-3 years and you guys still don't live with one another, you're gonna have to push them. You know what I mean? Like, okay, it's been 3 years. Like, let's start looking for a place. Come on, let's go. Let's start looking for a place together. You know what I mean? Like, there's gonna be times where you're gonna have to push this one over here, because they come off to me as somebody who doesn't do well with embracing the level of the unknown. So sometimes you got to light the fucking fire under their ass to get them to move. There's going to be times within this relationship where they're going to move on their own, but then there's going to be times where you see them kind of stalling out. You're going to have to really come in and light the fire under this person's ass. I'm just being honest with you. And that's something that you're just going to, you should definitely take with you moving forward. But we want to make this journey for them as easy as possible. But there is going to be times where you're going to have to light the fire under their ass, because if you don't, they're just going to keep things as is. Y'all are never going to, get a place together. Like, if you mention to them, like, it would be so nice. Like, if we had a place together, like, oh my God, like, we could decorate it the way that we want, or you could decorate it the way that you want. Like, it would be so fucking nice if we had a place together. Plant that in their brain. You know what I mean? But also let them know that, you're waiting on them to be ready for all of that. And once, time goes by and you don't really see them moving, you know what I mean? And you don't see them, looking for a place for the two of you and stuff like that. That's when you're going to have to come in and light a fire under their ass. You know what I mean? And they'll move. Trust me, they'll do it. For you, hell yeah, they'll do it. For anybody else, probably fucking not. But for you, they'll definitely do it. So that's why I'm telling you, you got to make them feel and think like they're in control at times. You got to make them think, believe, and feel like they're in control, because that's going to make them feel good. It's going to make them feel good. Remember, friends with benefits type of situations makes them feel like they're in control, right? Romantic relationships, full-blown committed relationships do not make them feel like they're in control whatsoever. So you got to keep that in mind as you're like going on this journey with this person, that you got to make them think, believe, and feel like they're in control at times. And when you kind of see this person, not really moving the way that you want them to move, or doing the things that you want them to do, you got to come in and kind of light that fire under their ass, you know what I mean, to get them to basically move. But the only reason why you're going to have to do that, is because this person does not do well with the level of the unknown. So, for example, getting a place with you will be a very fucking scary thing for this person to do, because they don't know what to anticipate and or expect. They know what to, expect with you having your own place and them having their own place. But as far as like y'all like getting a place together, yeah, no, they don't know what the hell to anticipate and or expect. So you might have to come in and light the fire under this person's ass and be like, all right, no, today's the day. We're going to start looking for places, and that's just that. You know what I mean? So come along, my friend, come along. You know what I mean? And they'll go. They'll go. They will go. They will go. Trust me, they will go. But yeah, that's about it. You know what I mean? They're going to be uncomfortable no matter what. You know what I mean? Like, even if you allow this person to be in control, or make them think, believe, and feel like they're in control, they're still going to feel uncomfortable. You see what I mean? They're still going to feel uncomfortable no matter what. Regardless if they're in control or not, they're still going to feel uncomfortable. They're only going to start to feel comfortable in this relationship as time goes by. But you have to allow time to go by for this person to reach that level of just simply feeling comfortable with you and within this dynamic that they share with you. But you're going to have to light the fire under this one's ass. You're going to have to. You're going to have to. You're just going to have to, my friend. Okay? So yeah, that's what I have for you. But other than that, there's nothing to be worried about. I do see the two of you, building and establishing an amazing life with one another. And the fact that the Hierophant came out twice, that's telling me that you guys are probably going to end up getting married to one another. If you guys don't end up getting married to one another, you guys are going to have the mentality that married couples have. Giving up is just simply not an option. So yeah, I mean, and then the whole like what's mine is yours and what's yours is mine. Do you see what I mean? Like you guys are gonna have the mentality that the two of you are married, you know, to one another. So you guys are gonna find yourself, you know, sharing your finances with one another, you know, just sharing your belongings with one another, having the mentality of giving up is just not an option. You see, like you guys are gonna be fine. You guys are gonna be fine. You guys are gonna be good. I just think that there's just some things that they need to kind of overcome on their behalf, and there's gonna be times where you're gonna have to light the fire under their ass because it is what it is. Because if you don't light the fire under their ass, they're not gonna move. They're not going to move on certain situations, which to me feels like major life decisions is basically what I'm getting. So like, for example, you guys starting a family with one another, getting a place together, getting married, you know, things like that, like major life decisions like that, like you're gonna have to really come in and light the fire under this one's ass from time to time. There's gonna be times where they're gonna be, you know, more than willing to, you know, just do things, you know, just because it feels right without you having to light that fire under their ass. But there's going to be times where you're going to have to do it. And they will do it. That's besides the point. They will do it. They just kind of need some encouragement. You know what I mean? They just need somebody to come in and just kick them in the rear end to get them to move. But it's all coming from a place of love, obviously. But yeah, I think that you guys are going to be fine. I think that you guys are going to be great. I just think there's just a lot of hurdles that they're going to have to overcome before you guys get to this amazing place with one another and within your relationship with one another. But I do see you guys definitely doing that. I do see you guys definitely making that happen. So I'm not really worried and concerned about this relationship at all. So that is what I have for you. Hopefully the reading helped. Hopefully it resonated. And I will see you guys in your next reading.